You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White sports fans, let's talk about Game 3 of the World Series between the Houston Astros and the Atlanta Braves. Game 3 is tonight at 7:09 Central Standard Time in Atlanta. After the first two games were in Houston, the series is all tied at one game apiece. But what we're going to be talking about in this video, ladies and gentlemen, is the woke sports media, the liberal media. They are in full panic mode as Game 3 approaches in roughly 3 to 4 hours before the recording of this video. Because in Atlanta, on national TV, on the world stage, the Tomahawk Chop will be happening. And as an Astros fan, I hope that the Braves do the Tomahawk Chop. It is a part of their fan base, it is a part of their culture, but the woke sports media is panicking. They are deeming this to be racist, when it is not racist in the least bit. But the woke sports media, they need to create outrage. They need to create outrage, even though they were silent on a Tomahawk Chop for decades. They never said a thing. They're just trying to create controversy where there isn't any. So let's jump over here to Fox News. Liberal sports writers look to cancel Braves Tomahawk Chop as World Series heads to Atlanta. It says here, liberal sports writers and corporate media members will be glued to the television on Friday night when the Atlanta Braves host the Houston Astros in Game 3 of the World Series. But many of them won't be focused on the game. Instead, woke members of the press have been busy decreeing the Braves' nickname and iconic Tomahawk Chop as everything from racist to an act of violence. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, an act of violence? Really? This is insane. Quote, a sport that helped define America and American men for more than 100 years has been taken over by those who hate the sport, the fans, and our country, Media Research Center Vice President Dan Granor told Fox News Digital. Yeah, these woke people have infiltrated sports. They care nothing about sports. They care nothing about the traditions of sports. They just want to inject their woke agenda onto sports fans, and it's not working. Cancel culture has hit professional sports in recent years, specifically for teams named after Native Americans, and many have set their sights on the Atlanta Braves as the team hosts its first fall classic game in 22 years. Yes, the woke mob is coming for the Braves. They're coming for them because they're winning. They're in the World Series. Chiefs are on deck. Seminoles on deck. They're coming for you. But I encourage you guys, do not bend the knee. The NFL franchise, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, dropped this longtime moniker after years of pressure and have simply gone to the Washington football team, one of the dumbest names in all of sports, ladies and gentlemen. Major League Baseball's Cleveland Indians initially ditched its popular Chief Wahoo logo and has scrapped the name altogether, planning to take the field as the Cleveland Guardians beginning that season, and they stole that name, ladies and gentlemen. They stole that name. Rose did a video on that. The Atlanta Braves, whose name goes back to 1912, when they played in Boston and later in Milwaukee, have hung on to the moniker and fame chant. Now with the World Series heading to Atlanta's Truist Park, tied up at one game apiece, everyone seems to have an opinion on anything other than the action on the field. Yes, because these woke media members don't care about the game. It's all about an agenda. I know I sound like a broken record. The Associated Press published a column by Paul Newberry headline, "Pull the plug on the chop," and Braves name too. The column admits the Tomahawk Chop will be impossible to ignore now that the World Series has shifted to Atlanta, adding that viewers will have unfortunate visuals. Ridiculous, because baseball fans, Braves fans, they don't care about this woke garbage. As an Astros fan, I hope the chop happens the whole entire game. Even though I want the Astros to win. I really, really do. But I want to see that Tomahawk Chop because we know it's going to trigger the woke sports media, and these people are going to be writing woke columns the whole series that's going to be in Atlanta. The next 3 games are going to be in Atlanta. So, and all 3 games are guaranteed, by the way, since the series is actually tied up 1-1. But let's move on. Quote, simply put, the Braves and their co-conspirator are on the wrong side of history, not unlike those who continue to defend the Confederate flag and statues as nothing more than peaceful symbols of Southern heritage, Newberry wrote. Liberal CNN, the Clown News Network, published an article with critics calling the Braves chant racist and dehumanizing. Mike complained the racist Tomahawk Chop is here to stay, and MSNBC's Joyless Reed, oh my goodness, slammed the chant as portraying hatred of Native American people. Ridiculous. Nobody has ever claimed that it was about hatred of Native American people. Utterly ridiculous and a lie by a bunch of crazy leftists. Sports Illustrated asks, why does MLB still allow synchronized team-sanctioned racism in Atlanta? In a piece, they claim a nationwide television audience will see a largely white crowd mocking a people its ancestors tried to erase. No, that is not true as well. The Braves have played dozens of nationally televised games over the years. Before the World Series, however, whether during their recent string of playoff appearances or occasionally during the regular season on ESPN and Fox. ESPN's Jeff Passan has called on MLB to stop the chop and mock anyone who disagrees with him. Yes, because you cannot negotiate with leftists. Quote, the best part of writing about the Tomahawk Chop is the reams of grown adults bleating on about how unfair and wrong it would be for a professional baseball team to stop encouraging them to wave their arms up and down and cosplay natives, and they want to make it seem like you're the soft one, Passan tweeted. It wouldn't fix any of the generational problems that affect American Indians, but it would, to plenty, return at least a modicum of dignity to a people that have already had so much taken from them, he wrote in a column. USA Today, Bob Nightingale, I did a video on him, declared he won't use the term Braves in his work, despite being employed as the paper's baseball columnist. And by the way, Nightingale, days before he wrote his hit piece, continually used Braves time and time again in tweets. He just wanted to get woke, ladies and gentlemen. But he says this, quote, while I can't stop the Tomahawk Chop or make Atlanta change its name, what I can do is not acknowledge the nickname, even though you did that, Nightingale wrote. In recent years, I've tried to avoid using Atlanta's nickname in columns. I find it offensive, 100% a complete lie by the hypocrite Bob Nightingale. USA Today was even called stealth editing multiple pieces to remove the offensive names from old stories, but chalked it up to an oversight. And I talked about this guy at the Houston Astros game with the sign, the chop is racist. Utterly and completely ridiculous, folks. But I'm not surprised by any of this. The woke sports media is in full panic mode because we're going to see the Tomahawk Chop not just in Game 3, not just in Game 4, but also in Game 5 as the Atlanta Braves, Bob Nightingale. You're going to see that every single night. And I hope that these woke idiots continue to get triggered because we're going to call them out. We're going to call them out on their wokeness and their hypocrisy. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.